Keeping title of the points, Lance McMinn from World Series Sprint Cars. Let's take a look at your points as they go into this round. And Dumesny leading with 8,896. Schatz with 7,570. Back to Furr, Tatnell, Jackson. Then we go back into Smith, Bell and Green. This is not a track that Donny Schatz has a happy history at, and Dumesny's getting away. So here we are, lining them up for heat race action at Nyora. JJ, a charismatic little place.
Racetrack where there's always plenty of action, a tight little bull ring. Look at this crowd they get in as well. They know there's going to be great racing tonight. Looking earlier at the points, gee, Max Dumesny, he's really pulling away in this points tour.
They race uphill into turn 1, they race downhill into turn 3. The place is chock-a-block. The pits has a railway line run through the middle of it. A seething little place as Tony Bartlett gets the whole shot into turn 1 and 2. Gessner down the bottom side, Green's in trouble, and Brooke Tatnell has spun as well. So both cars spinning to a stop. A lot of smoke off the motor there, Jay.
Yeah, just starting a heat race like that, a lot of times the guys will put some oil on the car to stop the mud sticking. Sometimes that drops down onto their headers. See here, Trevor Green spun out. Brooke Tatnell stood in the brake pedal to miss him. Brooke was the innocent victim there.
Yes, Green in that Adrad radiators, number 4. Very easily spotted car on the racetrack. It looks fantastic. Back into the action now for heat racing. Gessner and Bartlett again. Good start for Bartlett. Oh, Smith using the infield to gain a bit of an advantage there on Scheuerle, and the self-professed mayor of Nyora, Brooke Tatnell, in the Shell Helix number 8. His record is almost unbeaten here.
It's kind of the opposite of Donny Schatz, isn't it? Brooke Tatnell really steps up to the plate here, and that's what it's all about. Sometimes confidence at the back of this heat. He's going to need to get a couple of spots to get himself up near the front for that important pole shootout.
It's a very tight little racetrack. If you're thinking, wow, this place looks small, you're right, but they pack them in here. Paul Walkinshaw and Lloyd Hobson, the promoters of this venue, they put a lot of effort into promoting the races. They just had a slightly better venue. They'd be doing so well. Look at Tatnell up the inside. Great pass on Scheuerle. The narrow expanses of Nyora. You can see the pits located at the back of the track there, where, no kidding, a railway line runs through. Well, there's a freight train running on in front. Stephen Bell trying to run it down. It is not the midnight special. It's Tony Bartlett from South Australia leading from Gessner. Back to Bell, back to Smith, Green, Tatnell and Scheuerle. We're into the last lap coming up. Tatnell very busy. And that Shell Helix number 8 Avenger. You can see he's got the yellow tape on the side that's to protect the sunlight in his eyes. Bartlett gets a good win in the Caltex car. Back to second is Gessner. Third is Bell. Back to Smith and Brooke Tatnell. But the man from Hawthorn in South Australia, one of the real nice guys of racing, Tony Bartlett, scores a heat win at Nyora Raceway, Victoria. Pole shootout action now. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. It's a 2-lap knockout concept to decide the top 6. Dumesny in that Valvoline GKR Transport number 5 ahead of Brad Furr in the first session of this knockout concept. Furr will start the main event from position 6. Max Dumesny lives to go on and fight another day. He then took care of Donny Schatz in the number 15 car. A hoodoo track for Donny Schatz is Nyora. Dumesny, very much the most popular driver on the tour at this point, smoking around the circuit, steaming the right rear tyre. Schatz will start out of position 5. Now, this is a bit controversial. Darren Jensen led the corner. Dumesny hopped across the front, took out the front end of Jensen. Dumesny disqualified for the event for the problem. He starts out of position 4. That leaves position 3 to Darren Jensen. Brooke Tatnell takes care of Mike Van Bremen in the final. Van Bremen finished high points man. A great result for him in that affordable fireworks. Number 6, Foster. Brooke Tatnell, however, wins. Starts on pole. And so we come to the lineup for your A-main at Nyora Raceway. Picturesque little venue. Brooke Tatnell on pole with Mike Van Bremen. As a result of that pole shootout you just saw, Darren Jensen and Max Dumesny, huge crowd in attendance. They really pack him in at this circuit. Look at that 4 wide. Spectacular stuff, Jay.
And just enough room to go 4 wide there. And this crowd, they've had a really good night's entertainment, and it's not even feature time, so it's going to be tough for people to get past here. Brooke Tatnell starting up the front. We've talked earlier, he really is the guy that can drive to the front here. He'll be tough to beat.
Well, the crowd love their racing here. Let's take a look at your grid. Tatnell and Van Bremen, Jensen and Dumesny, Schatz, Brad Furr, Stephen Bell, Darren Maggs, David Anderson, Andrew Scheuerle, Tony Bartlett, Cameron Gessner, Daryl Hodges, Danny Smith, Trevor Green, Drew Cruck, Tony Mule, and and Skip Jackson, the Australian Sprint Car champion, having some dramas here tonight.
Really struggling through this Christmas New Year period of World Series. Had to run through the B and didn't get out of the B main last night at Horsham. Struggling, but look, they'll bounce back, and it's a tough field all the way back through to that back row. So there's going to be some interesting battles all the way through the field.
Right in the middle of the most intense traffic period of World Series Sprint Cars. They race 6 times in 10 days as we go green. Down the main straight of Nyora, Tatnell gets the ascendancy. Oh, Mags comes up track and gives Scheuerle one to go on with. I think there was pressure. Oh, don't the kids love it?
It's about the worst thing you can experience too. You're sitting in there, you've torn up your race car, and there's 20 kids laughing at you.
Looks like about 500 there. Let's take a look at it. Now, Bell and Mags got together early, and that sent Mags' car up into Shirley's path.
Yeah, Scheuerle is really just an innocent victim there. Darren Mags got popped out of the inside. Nowhere to go, tight racetrack.
Tatnell leads away again for Van Bremen. Tatnell, a very hungry competitor, yet to rack up a win in this series this year. He's the winningest driver in the whole history of the concept, though, as Dumesny tries it on with Van Bremen. What a great result for this young man from Lilydale in Victoria. High points man, and he's not even contracted.
Van Bremen's been driving the wheels off that thing all season. It's great to see him doing such a good job in this company. Max Dumesny, he realised that if he doesn't get past Van Bremen quick, he's going to get his momentum up and not be able to get past. So he's thinking about the point deal. You wouldn't expect Max to do anything stupid. Donny Schatz struggles at this racetrack and spun out in the first lap.
It's a real confidence thing for Donny, I think. He doesn't even like coming here. It's just a hoodoo track for him. The Sunnyvale Plants, Nanovich Farms, number 15. We should make mention to the tragic passing of Mike Nanovich from Nanovich Farms. From all of us at World Series Sprint Cars, we've passed on our sincere sympathy and condolences to the Nanovich family. Brooke Tatnell leading away now from Van Bremen. Dumesny and Furr back in the 4th spot. They're steaming up the tyres, JJ.
Yeah, you can tell it's a cold night out, and as what happens is when they stand on the throttle, it spins the tyres a little bit, generates some heat, and you get that condensation and steam. Van Bremen doing a fantastic job. Max is just working him over, and he just refuses to budge. He's just driving his line. Meanwhile, Brooke Tatnell really looking good up front. The thing that's going to be the key here, traffic. They're going to get to it quickly, and boy, it's going to be tough.
I have to tell you, this is a great little race track. It's very charismatic. They race uphill into turn 1. They race downhill into turn 3. The only thing that lets it down touches the facility, and I know that Lloyd Hobson and Paul Walkinshaw are working very hard on trying to upgrade it. They're trying to get the council involved, and it's just a great little track itself.
Yeah, it is, but I'll tell you what's strange here. Brooke Tatnell is coming up to put a lap on Donny Schatz and Skip Jackson, 2 guys who are fierce racers that are running at the back of this field. Brooke is just going to absolutely love being able to put a lap on these 2 guys. You think
he's smiling there?
Well, I mean, he's leading the race, and he's thinking about the points as well.
Oh, Bell! He's gone out the number 6 Bill Matters Performance Wholesale Speed Flow G-Lime entry. The kids just having a field day. Oh, Jensen having a great night to get to the top 4 in the shootout, then to go out like that.
Yeah, had some, obviously, Max did some damage there in the pole shuffle, and, that happened again. He has tough luck, Darren Jensen, but he stays out there. You've got to give him credit. Gessner
running pretty strongly there as well in that Tri-Steel car. Our race leader is Brooke Tatnell, a 4-time winner of this championship. The Shell Helix Synchrome Tools, Welch Racing Engines car ahead of Max. What are you seeing, Jay?
Yeah, well, Max Dummy's obviously got past Van Bremen on one of the restarts. Van Bremen's actually dropped 2 spots now. He's behind Brad Furr. He's doing a good job. Just that experience is paying off for these guys who run World Series all the time.
Well, David Anderson, too, doing very well. Another non-contracted driver, though he has been in the past. And quickly onto the pace, running top 5 in that Wagga Mobile Cranes number 37 blue Foster chassis.
It's amazing. Some guys don't have to run that often, and they're on the pace quickly. Max, he's thinking points now. He's leading this point score. He's seen Donny Schatz already spun out. He wants to win, but he's got to be thinking, hey, I'm in a good position here. Do I race hard to get past Brooke Tatnell? And you think, hey, this is Max Dumesny. He's going to go for the win.
Well, here he is, father of 4. 2-time national sprint car champion and a 3-time winner of this series. The man in front of him is the only man to have won it more than him, Brooke Tatnell from Sans Souci in New South Wales. Although these days spends a whole lot of time in Oklahoma, Memphis, around the Tornado Alley in America, racing for teams over there. Dumesny, the brakes are glowing red hot, and Brooke's not that far ahead.
No, these guys are running close. And I'll tell you, Brad Furr is also doing a good job. He, started this championship with a bit of a disappointment in Western Australia when his car came in underweight. He's really on his game now, running up the front every week.
Tony Moore there, number 53, Moore Motorsport Trailers entry, doing particularly well as well. Another talented young Victorian as Brooke Running the bottom, he runs this place better than most, this man, as he comes into turn 3 and 4, just over the other side of the fence, the pit area. The big haulers in the background. Last lap now, and Brooke Tatnell, doesn't he need this one, Jay?
Yeah, you know, it's going to be the first win if he can hold on. He's running down the bottom, down the straights to try and grab that moisture. Last lap, Max is going to have a heck of a job to get by him.
Checkered flag at the ready, and it's 4-time World Series Sprint Cars champion Brooke Tatnell, who gets the win and slows to almost a crawl on the main straightaway. Dumesny across the line in second. I think Brad Furr will get third, back to Gessner. Good result for him. Van Bremen, Anderson, Smith, Kruk, Maggs and Hodges rounding out the top 10. And the points, very interesting. We'll have a look at those directly after we meet up with our interviews. Brooke Tatnell's going to be happy. He's finally stemmed the flow, picked himself up some prize money and 1,000 valuable points.
Well, Max Dumesny, they couldn't keep Brooke Tatnell down forever, I don't suppose.
No, Brooks had been having a shocker of a year, and he likes Nyora and had a good run here tonight and started up front and pulled it off. But we were close to him. We had a good race. We got very close a couple of times.
Very, very close.
Yeah, but he was good. He did the job, and congratulations to him.
It's all been about consistency. I mean, consistency has got you the series lead, and Brad Furr is now, he hasn't missed the top 3 in the last four or five shows.
That's good for him. He started off pretty bad, and I was feeling bad for him, like because Konana and whatever, the bigger tracks that I thought he would have been really going good on, he was struggling, and since he left there, he's proved to be pretty tough and doing a great job.
Donny Schatz, disappointment for him tonight. That takes a little bit of pressure off you for the lead.
Yeah, it does, but we're coming up to some tracks that are pretty awesome. Admittedly, they're awesome for me too, so we'll see what happens. Like, because Donny's not a force not to be reckoned with, and I'm sure he'll do a good job.
So the points haul from tonight looks like this. Brooke Tatnell picks up 1,131, Dumesny 958, Brad Furr 788, Gessner 665, Van Bremen 586, Anderson 499, Smith 437, Kruk 394. All those points added to their progressive World Series Sprint Cars Championship points. Anything can happen, and there'll be more after the break when we come back. There's 4